Okay, I'll give you an update here. Got all the parts that I had, so I'm still missing the dart, the RAM and the ROM, and the 6 megahertz oscillator. Otherwise, everything's looking very nice, tidy. On the back, we have all of the surface mount components. Everything looks great back there. Interesting to use surface mount components on the back. Not a bad idea. If you're going to do surface mount, you only want them on one side. I've done double-sided surface mount boards, and they're a bit tricky. Yeah, the idea of using surface mount on one side and through holding the other side makes a lot of sense to me. So, good job there. Okay, so some of these are coming from China. I might have to wait a while, and I need to make a trip to the junk store. Hopefully I can find a 6 megahertz in the small version, and go from there. Well, let's take a look at the file that is the couple file that is the program that you use to generate the code for the 22V10 gal part. So this is WinCouple. We're looking at WinCouple, and this will be the source code for that. So we'll see what they did. There are several inputs here. We have A15, memory request, IO request, read-write, a bunch of addressing lines, A2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a Z80 res. I think that's the reset signal. And then we have output, PIO res, PIO CE, chip enable. So the PIO reset, that's it. So you bring in the Z80 reset and you output the PIO reset. I was thinking that possibly that was a just an inverter. So we'll see if I'm right about that. Then we have all the chip selects, PIO chip select, the UART chip select, RAM and ROM chip selects. Okay, so let's see how they do here. Yep, here we go. So the PIO reset is just a not reset. So we're just doing a inverter there. The chip enable of the PIO is a negative going logic. And you need to have IO request and A7, not A6, not A5, not blah, 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 blah. So that gives you an address region of 80 to 83. The UART chip enable is set at 0 to 03. And the RAM chip enable is memory request and A15. So RAM lives at 8000, and ROM lives everywhere else below that. So you have A15 needs to be low for the ROM. So the ROM lives in the low 32K and the RAM lives in the upper 32K. So that's expected as well. And then they make sure that you can't write to the ROM. They make sure you can read but not write. Okay, so very straightforward, very simple use of a 22V10, and it makes the board very elegant. There aren't many chips on that board other than a couple of the Z80 Zilog parts. So good use of a gal part.